At first, no one really noticed anything strange. The weight loss looked impressive, healthier, slimmer, even inspiring. But over time, something started to feel different. Faces appeared sharper, eyes looked more hollow, and fans began asking quiet questions no one seemed ready to answer. As drugs like Ozempic made headlines, the line between transformation and side effects became harder to see. And once people started noticing, they couldn't unsee it. Let's start with a story that shows how quickly a promise can turn into something far more complicated. Influencer Remy Bader once believed in a solution many people have heard about: medications like Ozempic. The idea felt simple: take the drug, lose weight, and finally gain a sense of control. And at first, it seemed to work. But not long after starting treatment, things began to shift. She started experiencing persistent nausea, followed by frequent vomiting, sometimes on a near-daily basis. What was supposed to improve her health instead placed significant stress on her body, eventually leading to hospitalization. And the physical symptoms were only part of the story. After stopping the medication, she faced a different kind of struggle. According to her own account, patterns of disordered eating began to return, this time feeling even more intense than before. The weight she had lost came back quickly, revealing a difficult reality about rapid weight loss. Without long-term support, it can be hard to maintain. Over time, she made the decision to undergo bariatric surgery, turning to a more structured medical approach after her earlier experience fell short. What began as a seemingly simple solution became a much longer, more complex journey. Her story reflects something many people are only beginning to understand. Medications like Ozempic can be effective for some, but they are not without risks. They can carry both physical side effects and emotional consequences, especially when not carefully managed. And for many watching from the outside, it raises a question that's becoming harder to ignore. When Demi Moore stepped onto the red carpet at several recent events, the attention didn't stay on her outfit for long. For decades, she has been seen as one of Hollywood's most enduring beauty icons, known for a look that felt almost untouched by time. But this time, something felt different. Photos from the events quickly spread online, and the conversation shifted. Not about fashion, but about her face. Many noticed a sharper, more sculpted appearance. Slimmer features, more defined cheekbones, and a slightly hollowed look that stood out in a way people weren't used to. The change was subtle in some ways, but striking enough to raise questions. Some suggested it could be the result of strict dieting or preparation for a role. Others pointed to a growing trend that has been quietly circulating in Hollywood. In recent years, medications originally developed for conditions like type 2 diabetes, including Ozempic, have become increasingly associated with rapid weight loss. As a result, any noticeable transformation can quickly become part of a larger conversation. It's important to note that Demi Moore has never publicly confirmed using any weight loss medication. Still, her appearance reignited a familiar pressure that has long existed in the industry. Even after decades of success, actresses are often expected to maintain a certain image, one that rarely allows for visible aging. In that environment, even the smallest changes can carry a much larger meaning. And sometimes what people notice isn't just a transformation, but the pressure behind it. For decades, Nicole Kidman has been recognized as one of Hollywood's most refined and enduring stars, known for her elegance, composure, and a presence that seemed almost untouched by time. But during several of her more recent public appearances, the conversation began to shift. Instead of focusing on her performances or red carpet style, many observers noticed something else. She appeared noticeably thinner. Her frame looked more delicate, with sharper lines around her shoulders and collarbone that stood out in certain photos. The change wasn't dramatic at first, but it was consistent enough that people started paying closer attention. Some fans expressed quiet concern. Others began asking what might be behind such a transformation. In recent years, discussions about rapid weight loss in Hollywood have increasingly included medications originally developed for conditions like type 2 diabetes, including Ozempic. Known for their appetite-suppressing effects, these treatments often come up whenever physical changes happen quickly and visibly. It's important to emphasize that Nicole Kidman has never confirmed using any weight loss medication, and no official explanation has been given for her recent appearance. Still, the speculation itself points to something deeper. In an industry where youthfulness and thinness are often treated as expectations rather than choices, even subtle changes can carry weight, especially for actresses with long, highly visible careers. And sometimes what draws attention isn't just how someone looks, but the pressure behind why they might feel the need to change at all. When Kelly Clarkson began appearing noticeably slimmer, the reaction was immediate. As often happens when a public figure's appearance changes, the same question surfaced again and again. What led to it? Clarkson has never been distant about her experiences with weight and health. Over the years, she's spoken openly about the challenges of living under constant public attention. So when reports suggested she had lost over 50 pounds, speculation quickly followed. Some assumed she might be part of a growing trend involving medications like Ozempic. At first, she chose not to respond. But eventually, Clarkson addressed the conversation directly. She confirmed that she had been using a prescription medication as part of her health plan, while making it clear that it was not Ozempic, but a different treatment recommended by her doctor. More importantly, she explained the context behind that decision. According to her, medical professionals had encouraged her for years to consider additional support due to concerns related to weight, metabolism, and blood sugar levels. The change was not sudden, and it wasn't based on a single factor. Alongside medication, she made consistent lifestyle adjustments, increasing physical activity and adopting a more balanced daily routine after relocating to New York City. Together, these changes contributed to her gradual progress. Her experience reflects a broader shift in how health and weight are being discussed in Hollywood. While prescription treatments are becoming more visible in public conversations, her openness added something often missing: context. Because for some, these decisions are not about appearance, but about managing long-term health in a way that isn't always visible from the outside. When Kyle Richards shared a series of photos showing her fitness progress, the reaction was immediate and far more intense than expected. At first, it looked like a typical transformation: healthier habits, visible results, and a sense of discipline paying off. But as the images spread, the conversation quickly shifted. People began to focus on how much slimmer she appeared, and with that came a familiar question. In recent years, dramatic weight loss in Hollywood has often been linked to medications like Ozempic. So as her photos circulated, many viewers assumed the same explanation applied here. Social media filled with speculation, with some suggesting that changes like hers couldn't happen through lifestyle adjustments alone. But Richards pushed back. She publicly denied using Ozempic and described a very different approach. According to her, the transformation came from a complete shift in daily habits, cutting out alcohol, reducing sugar and processed carbohydrates, and committing to a consistent workout routine. She also emphasized a high-protein diet and long-term consistency rather than quick results. Even so, not everyone was convinced. Some pointed to public appearances where her slimmer frame appeared especially noticeable, questioning whether diet and exercise alone could fully explain the change. And that reaction says something larger. As conversations around weight loss medications continue to grow, public perception has begun to shift. Transformations that once would have been praised are now often met with suspicion. In that environment, even when someone explains their process, it doesn't always change what people believe they're seeing. When Adele began appearing with a dramatically different look, the reaction was immediate. New photos circulated online, and for many, the change was hard to ignore. Reports often estimated that she had lost close to 100 pounds, drawing a mix of admiration and curiosity. But alongside the praise came something else. In today's environment, where rapid physical transformations are frequently linked to medications like Ozempic, some observers were quick to question how such a change was achieved. Social media discussions reflected that shift, with many wondering whether results like these could come from lifestyle changes alone. Adele, however, addressed those assumptions directly. She consistently explained that her transformation was the result of long-term commitment rather than a quick solution. Over the course of roughly 2 years, she followed a structured routine that included regular exercise, strength training, and cardiovascular workouts. Her approach was often associated with a cert food-inspired plan, combining specific nutritional guidelines with consistent physical activity. Even so, the speculation never fully disappeared, and that reveals something larger. There was a time when a transformation like this might have been seen primarily as discipline and persistence. Today, it is often viewed through a more skeptical lens, shaped by the growing visibility of medical weight loss treatments. Her story highlights how much the conversation has changed. Because once doubt takes hold in the public eye, it becomes surprisingly difficult to change what people believe. Tori Spelling's weight loss journey reflects a story that goes beyond a typical celebrity transformation. Best known for her role in Beverly Hills 90210, she became part of a broader conversation about how prescription medications are being discussed in Hollywood today. Following the birth of her fifth child, Spelling began looking for ways to lose the weight she had gained during pregnancy. Like many in the public eye, she explored medical options, including medications originally developed to treat type 2 diabetes that have recently drawn attention for their weight loss effects. She has publicly shared that she tried Ozempic, though she suggested it didn't deliver the results she was hoping for. After consulting with her doctor, she later turned to another medication, Mounjaro, which appeared to be more effective for her. Over time, reports indicated that she experienced noticeable weight loss. But what drew attention wasn't just the outcome. It was how openly she discussed the process, working with medical guidance, adjusting treatments, and finding what worked for her body, rather than following a one-size-fits-all approach. Eventually, in early 2024, Spelling decided to stop using the medication. She explained that she had reached a point where she felt comfortable and did not want to continue losing more weight. Her experience reflects a broader shift in how these treatments are viewed. Medications once associated strictly with medical conditions are now often discussed in lifestyle terms. And that shift raises a larger question about how health decisions are understood when they move into the public spotlight. In the end, these transformations aren't just about appearance. They're about choices, pressure, and consequences that aren't always visible at first. Behind every headline, there's a story most people never fully see. And as Hollywood continues to chase youth and perfection, one question becomes harder to ignore. At what cost? Because whether it's discipline, medication, or something in between, the truth is rarely simple. And once you start looking a little closer, it can change the way you see these transformations entirely. If you found this perspective worth considering, stay connected for more stories that go beyond the surface.